I'm shiny. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Yikes. My skin's bad right now, so we're just gonna ignore it and move on. So I was talking with my mom, and I made the realization that I've never told my coming out story. It's never come up in conversation. Nobody's ever asked. Anytime anybody meets me and finds out I'm bi, they're kind of just like, okay, cool, and they move on. It never gets brought up again. So I figured I would tell my coming out story and document it, because in 30 years, I'm not gonna remember it. Trust me, I will not remember it. I barely remembered it until like my brain just randomly unlocked it earlier while I was talking to my mom. So for those of you who don't know, I'm bi, and this is my coming out story. So I first made the realization that I was bi whenever I was 11. I was 11 years old. I was friends with this girl, and I was really attached to her. I thought she was super pretty, super funny, and I realized I had a crush on her. And it wasn't this like massive moment of discovery, this life-changing realization that it is for a lot of other people. It was kind of just, oh, I have a crush on her. Cool. And I moved on. It was very easy for me to accept it because it wasn't really surprising. And in the environment I grew up in, sexuality was never talked about. It was never discussed. It was never a big deal. It wasn't, oh, damn those gays. It was never that. It was just never discussed. I didn't know anybody's standpoint on it. I didn't know anything about sexuality. And I was just like, okay, cool. I have a crush on a girl now. Great. Like, whatever. What am I supposed to do about that? Like, so about a year later, I was 12, and I was tired of hiding it. And I wasn't hiding it out of fear of how my friends or family or people at school would react. I wasn't hiding it out of self-hatred, shame, embarrassment, any of that. I just felt like it was something that didn't need to be said. I didn't realize it was something I had to tell people. So when I first heard about coming out stories, I realized, I was like, oh no, do I have to do that? I have to explicitly tell people? I thought it was just like something people knew, you know? So I chose to come out to my best friend first. We were in middle school, and at the time, Facebook was popping. Keep that in mind. We were in middle school, and I was severely bullied. I was bullied because of my appearance. I was bullied because I was poor. I was bullied because I lived in the projects. I was bullied because of this and this and this. I was just heavily bullied. And I started making fake Facebook accounts and befriending myself and having conversations with myself to try to appear cooler than I was. Well, when I decided to come out, I used one of my fake Facebook accounts, which was this chick. I don't even remember its name. I decided to use one of my fake Facebook accounts to pretend to be my own girlfriend, if that made any sense. I was pretending to be my own girlfriend and texting myself. So my best friend at the time saw like a glimpse of the messages, an out of context glimpse of the messages, where the fake account called me baby, and she got really confused. So she texted the account, was like, why'd you call her baby? She doesn't like girls. And I responded on the fake account and said, yes, she does. Ask her yourself. And that's how I came out to my friend. That's literally it. But it was funny because we were 12, obviously. We were 12. We didn't understand the impact that should have had on our friendship, you know, whether it improved it or made it more negative. We didn't understand the impact that moment was. She just kind of accepted it, and we just moved on. I literally made the realization right before filming that she was the first person I ever came out to, which is crazy to me because, one, I don't even think she knows, and two, as I've said, anything in regard to my sexuality and coming out has never been this life-changing, meaningful, impactful thing. It's always just been, hey, this is me, take it or leave it. And I progressively started coming out to our friends, came out at school, and by the time I was 13, I had already had 2 girlfriends. Everybody knew I was bi, except for my family. Well, one day, inevitably, I decided to come out to my mom. And honestly, it wasn't even a choice. I came out to my mom accidentally. My mom and I have always been super, super close, and I had a really, really stressful day because one of my ex-girlfriends was starting a whole bunch of drama, and it just really got to my head. So I came home crying, and my mom asked what was wrong, what happened. So I went on this whole rant about my day, not even realizing, hey, you should probably not do this. Your mom doesn't know you're bi. By the time I finished the rant, I was crying still, and I finally realized, oh God, I just came out to my mom. And I'm not even crying because I came out, I'm crying because of drama my ex is starting. Finally, after I'm done ranting, my mom looks at me and goes, "You're bi?" And I said, "Yeah." Still crying, still fucking dazed. Said, "Yeah." And that was it. She was just like, "Great, like, I'm glad, you know, like, good for you. I'm happy that you know who you are." And it was a really sweet moment, but not for the reason it should have been. It wasn't sweet because she was accepting. It was sweet because I was sitting there crying over drama that my ex-girlfriend just started, and my mom's sitting there reassuring me and comforting me. It was great. It was awesome. And then finally, I had one last person to come out to, right? One last person to come out to, and that was my sister. So my sister and I, at the time, had not seen each other since I was 4. She lives on the other side of the country. I live here in Florida. So every single conversation we have had has been over the phone, through letters, but we're still super, super close. Super, super close. So one day, I call her, and we just talk like we normally do, and then I tell her that I'm bi. She laughs and just says, "I already knew." Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You already knew? But honestly, ever since then, you know, I haven't really had to come out to anybody. I meet new people, they find out I'm bi, and they're just like, "Okay, cool. Good for you, whatever." And it never gets brought up again, as I said at the beginning. Sexuality and coming out is a very important thing, and it's different for everybody. A lot of people's families are not accepting, their friends are not accepting. A lot of people get disowned, get killed even. I was lucky enough to be in an environment where that didn't happen, where there was no chance of that happening to me. And I'm eternally grateful for that. But because I didn't have that risk, I can't say that it was an impactful, monumental, life-changing moment. I can't say that it was important to me. I can't say it was an important part of my story. It was just there. It was just a thing. But yeah, that was my coming out story. Wasn't much of a story, I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, listen to my music, and that's about it. See you next time.